I will catch you for the week 9 update where I'm gonna be a f***ing zombie. And I can confirm this week, even though this is the last day of week 9 of the cuts, this week has been the hardest week by miles. I am feeling pretty rough. In fact, I thought it was necessary to get this t-shirt on today for the filming. I definitely feel like I'm in low power mode at the moment. If you missed the previous video, this is my final push to get every last ounce of fat off my body before I can step on stage. And we are close, don't get me wrong, but to get to a place I've never been before, we're gonna have to do things I've never done before. So I'm gonna fill you in on all the updates that I did this week. I did give an outline of what I was doing this week in my previous video, but I guess I can go into more details. Also coming up in this video, I will be going to the gym today. I have shoulders, biceps, and abs to get done. It was only 2 weeks ago since I filmed my last shoulder workout and nothing's changed since then. So we will just smash through the workout. But the part I'm very excited to show you guys is some posing corrections. So we did some tweaks to the posing and I want to show you how much better things look with the new version of my posing. So I will be doing that after I go and train. But before that, let's discuss what I've had to do this week to get me into this state and the results that I've got from doing so. So my weight has dropped down to 205.6 pounds as of yesterday morning. Didn't weigh myself this morning. That is an all-time low for this prep, and now I have absolutely no concerns about making weight, as my weight cutoff is 202 pounds. So we're pretty much there. All I need to do is restrict like carbs and water for a little bit and it will just plummet. So there's absolutely no worries about making weight. But like I say, there is still a little bit of fat left to come off. Maybe just 2 pounds, pretty much all from my back. A little bit from my legs, but I think legs are just very inflamed at the moment from the sheer amount of cardio. So it's quite hard to tell if they are just inflamed or if there is actually still, fat left. Don't get me wrong, there's always gonna be a little bit of fat left. You can dig a little bit deeper, but it's just playing that boundary of what am I sacrificing muscle-wise to get like 1% more fat off the body. So it's pretty much when you're looking incredible and crispy and still have all your muscle mass, that's when I think, you gotta start really considering this is the best look you're gonna achieve. Getting leaner will actually make you look worse. So I feel I am very, very close to that. But this week we had to cut the protein way down. So it's the lowest it's been for me in probably like a decade that I've started this journey. But it is pretty much 0.7 grams per pound of body weight at the moment. So for me, that's 145 grams of protein a day. I personally would not have the balls to make that call myself. I'd be too worried about sacrificing muscle. But that's what my coach wanted me to do, so I followed the plan. And it's actually improving my look still, so I am still happy with it. I don't think any muscle's being sacrificed. Of course, I'm extremely tired, so now my strength is being slightly affected. I am potentially like 2 weeks out from a show. Of course, my strength is going to be slightly affected. I definitely feel like I'm lean enough to be 2 weeks out. It's just, am I my absolute best 2 weeks out? Or do I have to wait until another 4 weeks time to be my absolute best? Time will tell. Every week, like, my body just responds, so we'll just have to wait and see. And then once we feel the look has peaked, I'll jump into the next show. There is so much shit in this video. Not only that, we bumped up the cardio to an hour fasted in the morning and then 20 minutes post-workout. That's been consistent, that's been the same, but the hour in the morning is actually a big difference from 45 minutes. For some reason, it just seems like there's a massive, massive difference there. Now, a lot of the comments from my last video were asking what my steps were every day. I talk about cardio, but I don't talk about steps. There's a good reason I don't talk about steps, because I do not track them. I don't feel it's absolutely necessary to track steps and cardio in certain situations, which is like mine. I don't have a very high intensity job. This is my job. I'm a content creator, I'm an online coach, I'm a professional bodybuilder. So I sit at home making content. The times that I go outside is to the gym and to walk the dog. So yes, I've steps in there walking the dog. However, it is consistent every single day. So because it's so consistent, there's no need to track them. But if you're, for an example, a builder where your step count is going to vary massively from day to day, that's when I think it's a good idea to monitor your steps and actually implement a daily target for steps, whereas for me, it's just not necessary. Now, there is one thing I would like to discuss before moving on, and that is admitting when you're tired and admitting that you feel like shit. I once had a coach that said champions should never admit when they're tired. Personally, I think that's utter bollocks. To me, having champion mentality is not lying to yourself and saying, I'm not fucked when you're absolutely broken, but you can say, I'm absolutely broken, but I'm willing to go further and do more. I'm not quitting. That to me is champion mentality. It was a big name in British bodybuilding that actually told that to me, which is why I thought I'd bring it up, because it's been messing around in my head because I was influenced from quite a young age thinking that way. And now I'm like, fuck this. Don't believe in that bullshit. You're allowed to admit you're tired as long as you're happy to keep fucking going forward. That's what makes a champion, not fucking lying to yourself. Right, let's get some food in me so I can go to the gym and show you guys how much my posing has improved this week. Let's go. So I didn't manage to film the ab routine. I started feeling quite lightheaded and I just wanted to get it done, get my cardio done, which then means I could have some carbs post-workout because I started going hypo post-workout, so we reintroduced the carbs just so I could drive home safely. But my abs look the same every single workout, which I do 3 times a week, which is simply hanging leg lifts with some sort of back support. So something like this. I only needed 15 grams of clusterdextrin just to zip me back into life. And then I did some posing afterwards. So I feel like I was looking a little bit flat looking at this. I'm going to be hypercritical of myself. I also feel like my waistline was a little bit blown up because I went to the gym after 3 meals and today was a recovery day, so double the protein, double the carbs. Nonetheless, the whole purpose is to show you the difference in my posing. So this used to be what I would pose like before, where I would stick my leg out to the side to create this X frame. And of course, my main 2 poses were just one hand on hip or double hand on hip. What I'd do is I'd actually stretch up and almost semi-vacuum in my stomach just to give myself the maximum V-taper as possible. But we found it was just losing too much detail in my midsection. So we moved my leg closer together, as you can see here. It didn't affect the X-frame, but then I was able to crunch down on my oblique and thoracis, and that just brought out so much more detail, and for some reason it made my chest hang better. We're gonna do a side-by-side comparison here so you can see. So the one hand on hip, just take a look at the midsection, just down my side here, my obliques and thoracis, serratus, thoracis, whatever you wanna call it. And we decided this was just 10 times better. It didn't make my waist look any smaller trying to vacuum it in, but we got so much more detail, and it makes me look a little bit broader up top as well, I feel. However, the money shot we're deciding to go for is the double hands on hips. This is going to be my main pose here. And again, just because of the detail, the way I can get my shoulders nice and wide, ignore it's gonna be my right pec here. I'm having some issues with my front delt on the right side. It's just very tight and it's pulling my chest across, which is why it looks a little bit odd here. I am seeing the physio tomorrow to get that fixed, but like I say, just slightly ignore that. It's actually creating a little bit of striations, which I'm not too displeased with, but it just looks a little bit awkward, which we don't want. We want it to look nice and easy. You want your posing to look like you're making no effort to hit it, even though I'm putting in a lot of effort to hit this, but that's the look. You want it to look effortless, so I don't want to be flexing and bunching up that right side there. The back posing is exactly the same, nothing needed tweaking there, and just unfortunately, in this lighting, the shadowing was just so extreme, you couldn't really see anything at all. That is everything for this update. By the time it's released and you are watching this, then it's going to be week 10 of the cut, and hopefully I'll have an update as to if I can compete anytime soon, see if we are ready. So if you don't want to miss out on the show announcement, then make sure you are subscribed. No guarantees it will be released next week, but it's definitely coming up soon, guys. If you wanted to support the channel, all you have to do is like this video or drop a comment. That's all it takes to increase my channel's visibility. So thank you guys so much for watching, especially to this point, and I'll catch you guys next week for the week 10 update. Let's see if we have some good news.